Welcome to the HFY Tales channel. Remember to like and subscribe if you like the story. Enjoy and take care.
In the heart of a bustling metropolis, where holographic advertisements flickered like fireflies amidst the towering glass skyscrapers, lived Jordan Carter, a 25-year-old human navigating the complexities of a multicultural, futuristic society. The air was thick with the scent of alien cuisines wafting from street vendors, and the vibrant colors of diverse species blurred together in the throng of people. Yet, amidst this vivid tapestry of life, Jordan often felt like an odd thread, a solitary figure trying to carve a niche in a world where interspecies relations were both celebrated and scrutinized. That Tuesday morning, a flashing notification on his sleek wristband broke through his scattered thoughts. The government had assigned him an alien maid. It was a mundane occurrence for many, but for Jordan, it was an event tinged with uncertainty. He tapped the notification, revealing the details of Ms. Zyrad Kal, who had arrived from the distant planet of Aloria, a world renowned for its exceptional service and unique individuality. As the door chimed, Jordan's heart raced. "Remember, she's just a maid," he whispered to himself, attempting to dismiss the flurry of anticipation buzzing in his mind. He mentally prepared for the enclosed space of the humble apartment as he opened the door. Zyra stood there, a stunning figure bathed in hues of azure and emerald, with skin that shimmered as if kissed by starlight. Her large, expressive eyes glowed softly like two luminous orbs, searching him with a mix of curiosity and concern. She cleared her throat, a sound resembling chimes, and bowed slightly. "I am at your service, Master Jordan." Her voice was melodic, yet laced with an earnestness that made Jordan's pulse quicken. He gestured for her to enter, where she stepped inside and began to scan her new surroundings, taking in the mismatched furniture and a few scattered personal items, evidence of a life led in chaos. "Oh, please, just call me Jordan," he said with a wave of his hand, feeling a strange warmth surge inside him. The traditional roles assigned by her culture collided with his laid-back demeanor, creating an awkward tension between them. He could already see how different this experience might be from others he had heard of. "I understand, Jordan," Zyra replied, her voice steady and formal. "My purpose here is to assist you. Please outline your tasks, and I will fulfill them to the best of my abilities." Jordan chuckled nervously, unsure whether to laugh at the seriousness with which she took her role or find it endearing. "Thanks. I appreciate that. But really, I'm not that hard to please. Just, help out where you can." With a slight tilt of her head, Zyra processed the request. "Understood. I will start by cleaning your living space." And just like that, she began moving through the room, her fingers deft and precise, sparkling trails left in her wake. Watching her work, he felt an unfamiliar tugging at his heart. A warmth imbued every corner of the room as she diligently tidied up, her skills seeming to transcend mere cleaning. The sight of her made something stir within him, an intriguing blend of respect for her dedication and something more pulsating just beneath the surface. As the day wore on, the initial awkwardness began to dissipate, replaced by a gentle camaraderie. They exchanged small talk and stories, each chuckle creating an invisible bond that intertwined their lives, one thread at a time. Jordan discovered Zyra's deep appreciation for Earth's strange customs, from morning coffee rituals to binge-watching holoseries. In this moment, he realized that they weren't just mismatched acquaintances. They were two souls weaving their lives together in unexpected harmony. But deep down, Jordan couldn't shake the nagging feeling of discomfort. Society's expectations loomed over him like a thundercloud, threatening to rain on their budding connection. Little did he know, their journey was only just beginning, a journey that would challenge their perceptions of duty, affection, and ultimately love. The days flowed seamlessly into a new routine for Jordan, one that was both strange and comforting. Each morning, the apartment filled with the soft chime of Zyra's voice, her cheerful greetings, somehow managing to lift his spirits even before his first cup of coffee. As time passed, he quickly learned that she was far more than just an assigned maid. She was an intriguing enigma wrapped in the beauty of her Elorian heritage. Zyra stood almost a head taller than Jordan, her lithe frame adorned with silken garments that shifted colors in response to her emotions. When she was focused on a task, her skin glowed a deep azure, a hue he learned was associated with concentration and diligence. In contrast, during less serious moments, her skin shifted to vibrant greens and yellows, reflections of her playful spirit. From the moment she stepped into his life, Jordan felt a tug of curiosity. She was captivating, not just in her appearance, but in how she approached her duties. Zyra exuded an infectious energy that transformed mundane chores into fascinating endeavors. As she cleaned, she sang softly in her native tongue, a melodic sound that filled the room with warmth. He often found himself lost in the music of her voice, feeling as if he had been transported into a more wondrous world. During their conversations, Zyra shared stories about her home planet of Aloria. It was an awe-inspiring place, where forests pulsed with bioluminescence and rivers flowed with crystalline waters that sparkled under twin moons. On Aloria, it's not unusual to see entire communities gather under the stars, engaging in music and storytelling. She explained one evening, "We celebrate life, laughter, and connection. It is the Alorian way." As Jordan listened intently, he could almost picture the vibrancy she described. Imagine people dancing in the light of glowing flowers, laughter echoing through the air. "That sounds amazing," he said, a little wistful. "I'd love to experience that." Zyra's expression shifted, her large eyes sparkling with emotion. "You are welcome to join me on Aloria, should you ever wish to visit. I would show you all the wonders of my world." The sincere offer hung in the air, both thrilling and daunting. In stark contrast to the bright hope in Zyra's heart, Jordan often battled feelings of uncertainty. He reflected on societal norms and expectations. While humans increasingly accepted interspecies relationships, they still faced lingering stigmas. Jordan had heard both cautionary tales and stories of passionate love between humans and aliens. Yet, in the midst of a budding friendship with Zyra, he felt an invisible pressure growing each day. Dining together became one of their cherished moments, the alien and human sharing different culinary experiences. Jordan savored Alorian cuisine, exotic dishes bursting with flavors he had never experienced before. Zyra, in return, showed her appreciation for earthly food. On one occasion, she tried pizza for the first time, her eyes lighting up with delight after each delicious bite. "It is like a celebration of flavors," she exclaimed, her skin flickering to a lively orange, a vibrant color indicative of joy. Jordan chuckled, glad that he could introduce her to something so mundane yet exciting. Zyra was a quick learner, and her fascination with Earth's customs sometimes lit a flicker of hope in him. Maybe they could bridge the gap between their worlds, blending the ordinary with the extraordinary. But as the sun set on another day, a lingering doubt crept back into his mind. He ventured out to the balcony, gazing at the distant cityscape, illuminated by a myriad of colors and lights. He loved the vibrancy of his life, yet a part of him worried. What would others think? Would he face judgment for growing closer to an alien? Zyra appeared at his side, her presence soothing. "Jordan, what troubles you?" she asked, her voice gentle but filled with concern. "I'm just thinking about everything," he sighed, running a hand through his hair. "You're so different from me, and while that's exciting, I can't help but worry about how others will see it." Zyra took a step closer, her skin glowing a soft emerald as she regarded him intently. Different does not mean less. Connections transcend species. Simply being together is a declaration of strength. Jordan chuckled softly at her conviction, feeling warmth envelop him. "You really believe that, don't you?" With a bright smile that lit her face, she nodded. "With you, I learn every day. And in learning, I wish to grow together. There is strength in our differences." In that telling moment, Jordan realized that while both were encumbered by their worlds and norms, they shared a unique connection, one that beckoned them to explore the boundaries of their relationship. Little did Jordan know, their journey was just beginning, promising to challenge every preconceived notion and belief they held about love and acceptance. As the weeks flowed by, the bond between Jordan and Zyra blossomed into an undeniable connection. Their routines became intertwined with daily rituals, shared meals, humorous debates, and moments of quiet togetherness that transformed ordinary life into an adventure. The once mundane walls of Jordan's apartment were now filled with laughter, warmth, and an unspoken promise that pulled them closer each day. Zyra's enthusiasm for learning about Earth was both endearing and infectious. One evening, after a long day at work, Jordan entered his apartment to find Zyra excitedly arranging pumpkins in the living room. "What is this?" he asked, chuckling as he surveyed what looked like an impromptu Halloween display. "It is to celebrate the holiday of Halloween," she declared, her eyes shimmering with excitement. "You mentioned dressing up and gathering sweets, and I found these at the market. Are they not splendid?" Jordan smiled, amused by her interpretation of the holiday. "They're perfect, but we still need to think about costumes." "Costumes," Zyra repeated, her brow furrowing with curiosity. Jordan could see her mind racing as she considered the implications. "It's when we dress up as different characters. You can be anything you want, superheroes, monsters, or even famous figures from Earth's history," he explained, the excitement building in his voice. "That sounds fascinating. I wish to be something that represents my home." "Eloria has such wondrous creatures," she replied, her skin shifting to a vibrant purple, signaling her enthusiasm. As they spent the evening devising a costume, Jordan felt a comforting sense of belonging, a feeling that had eluded him for far too long. Zyra's laughter echoed through the apartment, and for a moment, all other worries melted away. However, beneath the joyful surface, Jordan couldn't ignore the nagging doubts that tugged at him. Moments of enjoyment came with an undercurrent of conflict. He often thought about how others would perceive their unique relationship, the societal expectations and judgments that came with loving someone from another world loomed like storm clouds, threatening to overshadow the happiness they were building together. One afternoon, as they strolled through a nearby park, their laughter mingling with the sounds of children playing, Jordan's best friend Liam unexpectedly confronted them. Dressed casually in his work uniform, Liam approached with a concerned expression, eyebrows furrowing as he caught sight of Zyra with her glowing skin and radiant smile. "Jordan, can we talk?" Liam's tone held an edge of urgency. He motioned for Jordan to step aside, far from Zyra's spectral presence. Reluctantly, Jordan followed him. "Is this really what you want?" Liam asked, his voice low but heavy with concern. "You're dating an alien maid, man. What will people think? You know how they can be." "Liam, I'm not just dating her. I care about Zyra. She's incredible," Jordan retorted. "You've seen how she brightens my life. Why can't you just be happy for me?" Ignoring Jordan's protests, Liam leaned closer. "You don't know what you're opening yourself up to. There'll be backlash. People will talk behind your back. Have you thought about that?" Jordan's heart sank. He looked to Zyra, who was playfully chasing a butterfly just a few yards away, her laughter cutting through the tension like a bright ray of sunlight. But reality reared its ugly head. What if Liam was right? What if society attacked their bond, shattering the fragile happiness they'd constructed? As Jordan returned to Zyra's side, he struggled with a mix of emotions. He admired the way she embraced the world around her, her innocent curiosity about human life, painting a stark contrast to the anxiety brewing within him. He wanted to share his life with her, but part of him hesitated beneath the weight of societal expectations. "Are you all right?" Zyra asked, sensing his shift in mood as she turned to face him. Her skin glowed a soft teal, a color indicating concern. "Yeah, just some friend stuff," he replied, forcing a smile. The last thing he wanted was to dampen her spirit. He needed to protect her from the disappointment of human prejudice, even if it meant wrestling with his own vulnerability. "Do not worry, Jordan. I bring joy into your life, yes?" she said, her voice light and full of warmth. "More than you know," he admitted, feeling the ache of affection for her ripple through him. "It's just, I want to make sure we're good, that others won't judge you because of me." Zyra took a step closer, her warm glow wrapping around them like a protective embrace. "What others think is not as important as what we feel. We must stand against judgments together, not apart. My world is different, but it does not make our connection less significant." Her words struck a chord within him, resonating with the depths of his soul. Despite his fears, He felt a grudging admiration for her bravery, her willingness to confront societal norms for the sake of their bond. With renewed resolve, Jordan reached out and took her hand, intertwining his fingers with hers. "You're right. Together we can face anything." With Halloween approaching, they poured their energy into creating unique costumes. As night fell and the city lights began to twinkle, they dived deeper into each other's worlds, embracing the magic of their differences. Jordan showed Zyra how to carve pumpkins, while she demonstrated her own gift of weaving small bioluminescent bulbs into vines, creating decorations that flickered like stars. For every moment filled with joint laughter, however, the shadow of societal pressure loomed in the background, and Jordan couldn't shake the growing sense of dread creeping into his heart. They had created something beautiful, but would it survive against the storm waiting just beyond the horizon? As Halloween approached, the air in Jordan's apartment buzzed with excitement. The vibrant decorations they created together, pumpkins carved with intricate designs and DeLorean vines adorned with tiny lights, filled the space with a warmth that mirrored the growing bond between them. However, buried beneath this festivity was an unsettling tension, one that Jordan could no longer ignore. While out shopping for party supplies, the whispers started to surface. As they strolled through the busy market, curious eyes followed them. Children pointed with innocent fascination, but adults exchanged glances loaded with judgment. The first sting came as they lingered in the produce section, catching snippets of conversations overheard. "Why would he date an alien?" a voice sneered from a nearby shopper. Jordan clenched his jaw, his heart racing. He wrapped his fingers around Zyra's, trying to convey his support. "Let's just focus on what we came for," he murmured, but he could feel the unsettling energy seep through their connection. Zyra, ever perceptive, followed his gaze. Her skin shifted colors, first a brilliant azure, then fading to a muted violet as uncertainty washed over her. "Jordan, is something wrong?" she asked softly. "It's nothing. Just, let's not pay attention to them," he replied, although his own discomfort gnawed at him. Every dismissive glance felt like a blow to the burgeoning love they had nurtured. As their relationship deepened, so too did the societal pressures weighing on Jordan's heart. His mind often drifted to Liam, his best friend, and the growing distance between them. Jordan could feel his frustration simmering beneath the surface, ready to erupt at any moment. The tension came to a head during a small gathering he organized to celebrate Halloween. Jordan invited a few close friends, hoping it would be a night of joy and laughter, a chance for them to see Zyra beyond her alien facade. He envisioned her bright smile lighting up the room, the warmth of their connection melting away any preconceived notions. As the doorbell rang, Jordan opened it to reveal Zyra standing before him, stunning in her costume, a dazzling translation of an Elorian spirit adorned in colors that sparkled like stars. "You look incredible," he exclaimed, grateful for the burst of light she brought into his life. Inside, the atmosphere was already charged with a mix of excitement and tension. As friends mingled and shared stories, Jordan couldn't help but notice the way some of them eyed Zyra warily, their laughter tinged with an undertone of skepticism. It was during a lull in the festivities that Jordan overheard an alarming conversation between Liam and a mutual friend tucked away in the kitchen. "It's just not right, man. You're dating an alien maid. What will people think?" Jordan's heart sank. He felt a familiar tightening in his chest. "Liam, come on. We've talked about this," he said, stepping forward, unable to stay silent. Liam crossed his arms, his voice low but fierce. "I'm just being honest. You're setting yourself up for judgment. People are going to talk. You're risking everything for an alien." "How can you say that?" Jordan scoffed, anger surging through him. "Zyra is amazing. She brings joy into my life. Why can't you just be happy for us?" Liam didn't back down. He leaned in, urgency lining his voice. "Because I care about you, man. This isn't just some fling. You're putting yourself on a path full of obstacles that people like us will face every day. You'll be judged, and so will she." Jordan's heart raced with frustration as he glanced back into the living room, where Zyra animatedly conversed with another friend. "I don't care what they think. She's more than just an alien maid. She's my girlfriend," he hissed, exasperation filling his words. How long before those laughs turn into whispers? You don't know what you're getting into. Liam pressed on, the concern evident in his voice. Taking a breath, Jordan felt the weight of the world pressing down on his shoulders. I'll figure it out. If I must, I'll face judgment. But don't you dare bring her into your hatred, he declared fiercely. Just then, Zyra turned the corner, her eyes sparkling, still wrapped in her own excitement. She caught the tail end of the conversation, her expression shifting as she sensed the tension in the air. Jordan, she inquired gently, concern evident in her tone, her skin flickering in muted colors that indicated her mixed emotions. Everything's fine, he insisted, hoping to wash away the ripples of tension. But inside, he felt a ruinous uncertainty creep in. How could he reassure her when his own world felt so precarious? Is it? Zyra pressed, stepping closer. In that moment, she stood tall, an embodiment of quiet strength. I can sense your distress, Jordan. I can face judgment, but I do not want to be a burden to your life. Jordan hesitated, balancing between the turmoil of protectiveness and the desire for transparency. Zyra, you're not a burden. People can be ignorant. They don't see how incredible you are. I want you to know that you're important to me, no matter what anyone else thinks. But that's just it, she exclaimed, her voice firm yet laced with vulnerability. I am not just an alien maid. I wish for my individuality to shine. I want to be a part of your world, and I do not want to be the source of your conflict. Liam, overhearing the exchange, grew silent, realizing the depth of their connection. Jordan turned to him, adding, You're my friend, but I will not let this friendship come between what I care about. Just as we stood by each other through everything, I hope you can do the same. Zyra deserves that. An awkward silence blanketed the room, heavy with unspoken words. Jordan looked at Zyra, who had begun to blend anxious anticipation with calm resolve. Together, she said softly, her eyes unwavering. We can face anything. Remember, what matters is how we perceive each other. Love is not defined by appearances, nor by judgment. In a moment of solidarity, Jordan took her hand, threading their fingers together tightly. That's right. We'll face this together, he agreed, a quiet confidence rising in him. A flicker of warmth sparked within him as he caught a glimpse of the determination in her eyes. Yes, they could navigate the challenges ahead as a united force, supporting one another against the tides of resentment and prejudice. Together, they would carve their path forward, no matter how uncertain the trail appeared. The Halloween gathering had reached a crescendo of joy, laughter dancing through the air like the vibrant decorations adorning Jordan's apartment. With music playing softly in the background and the inviting scent of festive treats pervading the atmosphere, Jordan felt a renewed sense of hope. He and Zyra had stepped past the earlier conflicts, and in that moment, it seemed they could weather anything together. Zyra, painted in the mesmerizing colors of her Elorian gown, was a radiant force in the room. Guests gathered around her, captivated by her stories of Elorian customs and culture. Her laughter chimed like bells, echoing off the walls and drawing smiles from even the most skeptical attendees. Jordan watched, pride swelling within him, as his friends responded to her warmth and charisma. However, the night's vibrant energy was abruptly interrupted by a firm knock at the door. Jordan felt his heart race. An uneasy sensation flooded his mind. He glanced at Zyra, whose smile faltered upon hearing the interruption. Opening the door, Jordan was met with an unwelcome sight. A trio of neighbors led by Derek, a local who had never been shy about voicing his disapproval of interspecies relationships. His friends flanked him, their expressions dangling between skepticism and disdain. Jordan, Derek said, stepping forward, his gaze focused squarely on Zyra. What's going on here? Is that an alien you're parading around? The tension in the room thickened like fog. Jordan felt a surge of protectiveness as anger bubbled beneath his skin. This is my girlfriend Zyra, he said firmly. What do you want? Derek crossed his arms, disbelief etching lines on his face. And what kind of relationship is this? You have a good reputation in the community. Why would you associate with an alien maid? This isn't right. Jordan clenched his fists, his blood boiling at the blatant disrespect. A flicker of worry crossed Zyra's face, and he knew he had to protect her. Zyra is not just a maid. She is an incredible individual who has brought joy into my life. How dare you belittle her? Derek's expression twisted into a patronizing smirk. It's obvious you're blinded by some fantasy. You really think this is sustainable? You're dragging yourself down with this. What about the rumors? The gossip? As Derek spoke, a wave of shame washed over Jordan, and the energy shifted. He glanced back at Zyra, whose skin flickered between shades of hurt and defiance. In that moment, he realized how deeply the words were affecting her. Taking a step closer, he faced Derek. What kind of person judges another based on who they are or where they come from? Is that really who you want to be? Enough of this, Derek replied, his voice rising. You think getting cozy with an alien is going to win you any respect? You're just inviting trouble. Before Jordan could respond, Zyra stepped forward, her presence commanding the room's attention. Excuse me, she said, her tone calm yet unwavering, a striking contrast to the chaos spiraling around them. I may be an alien, but I am not a mere novelty. I am proud of my origins, and I have a right to stand beside Jordan. At that, the room fell silent. Staring into Derek's eyes, Zyra continued. Love knows no bounds or species. It is rooted in understanding, respect, and connection, none of which you seem to embody. If you cannot accept that, I regret that you feel the need to attack what you do not understand. Jordan watched, astonished by her strength. He felt a surge of admiration for her bravery as she spoke her truth, displaying the kind of courage he'd only wished to muster. Her skin glowed softly, a reflection of her conviction. Derek, momentarily taken aback, moved to respond, but Jordan jumped in. Zyra is right. You don't know her, and yet you stand here condemning her for being different. You're perpetuating ignorance, and you should be ashamed of yourself. The only one causing trouble here is you. Derek's frustration flared, his friends shifting awkwardly behind him. Maybe you're all just too naive to see the consequences of your actions. He spat before turning to leave, but not without hurling one last barb over his shoulder. And don't say I didn't warn you when it all blows up into your face. As Derek and his companions exited, the door slammed shut with a reverberating thud that echoed the turmoil in the room. Jordan turned to see his friends staring at Zyra, their expressions a mixture of shock and concern. The vibrant energy of the Halloween celebration had soured, the hushed murmurs creating a cloud of anxiety hanging heavily in the air. Jordan took a deep breath, facing the aftermath of the confrontation. I'm sorry, Zyra. I thought everyone would be more accepting. I wanted you to feel welcome, to enjoy the evening. Zyra's glowing hues shifted, reflecting empathy rather than anger. Jordan, you stood up for me. That shows your strength, and I appreciate it more than you know. Her voice was steadfast, yet laced with a tinge of sadness. But it's disheartening to face such hostility. Jordan could sense the tear forming in the corner of her eye, and his heart ached for her. He stepped closer, taking her hand in his. You don't deserve this, none of this. You're beautiful, inside and out, and what we have is real. I don't want you to feel unwanted or lessened by what others think. Taking a deep breath, he turned to their friends, hoping to dispel the uncertainty lingering in the room. I want everyone to understand that Zyra is not just someone from another planet. She's someone who's changed my life for the better. If you've seen how she brings joy, you'd know how special she truly is. One of his friends, Sarah, broke the silence. You're right, Jordan. I didn't mean to judge. It's just different. But if you both care for each other, then that's what matters. We should support you. Exactly, another friend chimed in. I'm sorry for not being more welcoming. This might be new territory for us, but it doesn't mean we can't learn to understand it. Jordan felt a wave of relief wash over him. He turned back to Zyra. See, we can get through this together. Zyra offered a small smile, and her colors brightened, reflecting a glimmer of hope. I appreciate you all being so understanding. I'm proud of my heritage and want to share it, but it's daunting facing negativity. Let me show you how amazing it is to be a part of this community, Jordan said, smiling back at her. We'll invite more friends over. We can host nights to celebrate different cultures, Elorian nights, Earth gatherings. This way, they can learn from you directly." Zyra's eyes lit up at the suggestion, and a playful smile danced on her lips. "I would love to share my culture and traditions with everyone. I want to invite," she paused, considering, "friends to join in the Elorian festivities." Jordan laughed. "Yes, we could have food, stories, music, everything that makes your world enchanting." With a new sense of purpose revitalizing the room, they began planning. The tension that once strayed had morphed into excitement, the group collectively anticipating the bridge they could build through understanding and camaraderie. As the night stretched on, lights glimmered warmly, laughter resumed, and HFY Stories became the centerpiece, enriching the atmosphere that had almost been lost. She told tales of her vibrant home, sharing lore of the Elorian people and their festivities, a world where unity and respect were paramount, where love thrived without boundaries. For every laugh and every shared dish, Jordan felt the connection binding them all tighten. Zyra found her place among them, and Jordan was reminded of the beauty of their journey, not just as a couple, but as a community slowly tearing down walls of ignorance. However, as the party drew to a close, and guests began to trickle out, the earlier confrontation lingered like a shadow at the edge of his mind. Derek's words echoed, threatening to resurface their doubts. But standing beside Zyra, hand in hand, Jordan felt a renewed determination settle in his heart. Their love was a light in the darkness, poised to illuminate the way forward. "Are you okay?" he asked softly, turning to Zyra as the last guest departed. "I am," she replied, her resilience shining. "Thank you for standing by me. We are stronger together. I believe we can show them how beautiful love can be, even when it defies expectations." Jordan nodded, a surge of warmth filling him as he stepped closer. "No matter what, I will always choose you, Zyra. Together, we can challenge perceptions and show that love knows no boundaries." With that promise lingering in the air, they embraced, a perfect harmony forming between two worlds, now intertwined, not only by affection, but by a shared commitment to face whatever obstacles lay ahead. Together, weeks turned into months, and the impact of the Halloween night echoed through Jordan and Zyra's lives in ways neither had anticipated. Their commitment to each other had become a beacon of strength within their community, inspiring curiosity and understanding where once there had been only judgment. True to their word, they organized Elorian nights at Jordan's apartment, inviting friends and neighbors to immerse themselves in Zyra's culture. The meetings blossomed into lively gatherings filled with laughter, storytelling, and shared meals. Jordan learned to cook Elorian dishes from Zyra, and she eagerly embraced Earth cuisine, bringing her own creative twists to his beloved pizza and pasta dishes. In the weeks that followed, Jordan found his friendships deepening. People began to rally around them, united by a newfound appreciation for the richness that came from cross-cultural exchange. Skepticism started to fade. Even those who once stood on the sidelines began to ask questions and engage with Zyra directly. Jordan watched in awe as she shared tales of Elorian traditions, the vibrant festivals under twin moons, the melodic sound of her people's music, and the warmth of community gatherings that echoed her values of love and acceptance. However, the journey wasn't without its challenges. Though many embraced their relationship, whispers of dissent remained, lingering in the background like a shadow. Derek was still vocal, often attempting to rally others against what he viewed as an affront to tradition. Jordan and Zyra learned to navigate these bumps together, responding with confidence rather than fear. One cool evening, as they prepared for an Elorian night, Zyra announced, "I have something special planned for tonight." Her eyes shimmered with anticipation. "What is it?" Jordan inquired, curious and excited. "I want to share a traditional Elorian ritual of connection with your friends, to celebrate unity and understanding," she explained, her voice soft but resonating with purpose. As friends arrived, Jordan could feel the air crackle with anticipation. He wondered if they would be receptive to the ritual Zyra had chosen. Would they understand its significance? "Welcome to our gathering. Tonight, we will engage in the ceremony of lights," Zyra announced, her radiant presence captivating the room. Jordan watched as she gracefully explained the significance of the ritual, how it celebrated the bonds formed between different beings, weaving a tapestry of shared energy and love. She invited everyone to participate, handing out luminescent bulbs symbolic of their unique connections. As the ceremony began, participants formed a circle, holding their glowing bulbs aloft. They shared thoughts of gratitude, what they appreciated about one another, the lessons they had learned, and hopes for the future. One by one, voices rose in a beautiful medley, blending Elorian and earthly sentiments. Jordan listened, moved by how acceptance and compassion flowed through the room. With every story shared, the barriers that once divided them crumbled, replaced by the warmth of connection. When it was Jordan's turn, he spoke from the heart. In preparing for this night, I realized that my life was filled with comfort and familiarity, but without Zyra, it lacked vibrance and passion. She opened my eyes to the beauty of connection beyond the surface. I wouldn't trade what we have for anything. Zyra's skin showered bright colors of joy and pride, radiating warmth that enveloped the whole room. As everyone shared their heartfelt thoughts, an overwhelming feeling of unity washed over them. With the bulbs glowing softly in the dark, they became a canopy of hope, lighting the night as if to say that diversity was not just accepted but celebrated. Later, after the final guests departed, Jordan and Zyra stood beneath the stars. The glow of the bulbs still danced around them, illuminating their features with the gentle light. "I'm so proud of how far we've come," Jordan said, looking deep into her eyes. "Thank you for helping me see the world through new lenses. You've changed everything." Zyra smiled, her expression serene yet passionate. "And you have shown me that love knows no boundaries. Together, we have created a space where differences are not just acknowledged but cherished." Yet, amid this warmth, doubt still lingered. But what about Derek and those who still oppose us? Will things ever really change for the better? Jordan wondered aloud, glancing toward the horizon. Zyra pondered, her brows knitting together, and then answered, "Change is never easy, but we can be the catalyst. Our love can inspire others to break down their biases. It may not happen overnight, but each act of love, no matter how small, can ripple through this world." Jordan nodded, feeling reinvigorated by her unwavering confidence. "Then let's not stop. Let's keep sharing, keep inviting people into our journey. I want everyone to see how beautiful our love truly is." With renewed purpose, they decided to expand their efforts. As the months rolled on, they began working on community outreach programs focused on inclusivity. They reached out to others in interspecies relationships, forming a support network that provided resources and shared their stories. With each initiative, the tide of acceptance shifted bit by bit. On a warm summer evening, the city hosted its first intercultural festival, an event inspired largely by the impact of Jordan and Zyra's gatherings. 10 different communities came together to celebrate their heritages, sharing music, dance, food, and traditions. Bright stalls decorated the park, celebrating the unique cultures that coexisted in their vibrant city. Jordan and Zyra manned a booth, surrounded by friends, laughter, and revelry. As they interacted with visitors, he felt a wave of love spill over him, an overwhelming unity enveloping the festival. The work they had done was unfolding before their eyes, with acceptance blossoming in ways they had only dared to dream. As dusk fell and the warm glow of the festival lights illuminated the park, Jordan took Zyra's hand, looking out at the smiling faces surrounding them. "This is what love can do. This is how it can change the world," he breathed. Zyra squeezed his hand, her skin glowing brilliantly, a vibrant green signifying joy, the colors dancing like the pulse of the event. "Together, we can inspire others just by being ourselves," she said softly, her gaze fixed on him. With hope bright within their hearts, they leaned in closer, capturing the warmth of the moment, knowing that together they could face whatever lay ahead. Their journey was just beginning, woven together by love, understanding, and the indomitable spirit of two worlds merging into one. And as the stars sparkled brightly above, they knew that love, in all its forms, was the most powerful light of all.